All right, first things first, we're talking about Kyle Colgren's Star Wars minus Star Wars. Now, I'm just here to hit some notes with you to really make the argument of Star Wars' impact both in the future of Hollywood cinema, how it shapes these things, and how impacted Star Wars was, how influenced it was by all of these other things. And this is something we know. Chris Taylor is making that argument. You can't go to some sort of film interpretation. Colgren tells us that this is the work of film students, of film studies, Star Wars and its influences, both that which influenced and that it influences. This is not new material. However, Kyle Colgren's vision of it creates a very important argument, and it creates a much more, I don't know, visceral, internal, reverential recognition of just how much content circulates with Star Wars as Hollywood film. And so you've watched this thing, and I just want to point out a few very cool moments that I gravitate towards, and there's plenty of room on the boards for you to hit us with your favorites. I'd love to talk about them. I'm really, really drawn to these unexpected moments, right? I really love how often Dorothy comes up in The Wizard of Oz as this monomythic hero, where you have this being brought into this magical fantasy otherworld, be it Oz or the Force, and you get these home agricultural visions of the original space, the unimportant mundane hero, then catapulted. I love seeing Dorothy's farm side by side with the farm, the moisture farm that Luke grows up on. Very cool, very powerful idea, and even the tones are fairly similar when you get Wizard of Oz being that sepia tone moment and Tatooine very a muted, dusty color to it. I love that. I love the creativity Colgren's coming after too, because you get Mal Reynolds from Serenity, from Firefly, and he's playing this Han Solo role. He's even got the wardrobe, like without the jacket. Nathan Fillion's character really does have this Han Solo captain vibe, and you even get Mal Reynolds offering his perspective on this like spirituality, filling in for Han's lines. And at first it's kind of jarring because it's like, that's not what's happening if you're listening to the character speak, but looking at, in that second video, Han Solo talking. But then it really does start to capture that moment, and Colgren does a great editing job with this stuff. You also get Obi-Wan appearing as like Gandalf, which we know hits very close to home when one of the early drafts actually has Obi-Wan ripping Gandalf's good morning interaction with Bilbo, right? So you have all of this stuff, and I like how the imagery also of Vader coming through, right? Who plays Vader in this not Star Wars thing? And you've got this old samurai villain coming through the smoke, and it's just beautifully crafted in Colgren's moment. But this is also one of those moves where he catapults it forward. And you start to see that like Shredder from Ninja Turtles is on there, and you get this like Japanese samurai style helmet to a villain. Like Shredder is very much of that like Japanese karate tradition. Yeah, probably easily argued as like appropriation and whitewashing, definitely. But it was 80s 90s stuff. You gotta expect that from that period. But yeah, you get this moment of that samurai style influence, which you're gonna keep seeing. We'll talk later when we get up to episode 7. I have some thoughts on how that samurai influence of the cross draw lightsaber also translates into Kylo Ren's different use of the utility and placement of the lightsaber. So we have all of this stuff broiling up, and I love when you get that image of Bane coming in the Dark Knight, just this dominating, like you get the angle where you're looking up at him, so you get this dominance, this mask, this breathing apparatus as like villainy, and you just get this sense of the play between Star Wars and all of these other Hollywood films, and you really see how you get the equation of all these things to Star Wars, and Star Wars as a product of the equation that makes Hollywood film. Right? Taylor tells us that Lucas is just making a movie, not because the monomyth exists, not because he started checking boxes on the hero's journey, but because Hollywood has always made these films. We always tell the hero's story. It's a human thing. We've been doing it the whole time. And so this moment with Colgren is an absolutely brilliant piece of work, and I can't be more overjoyed with it when we're talking about the film influence, because it is an argument as much as anything. Yes, the seminar paper is very much argument driven, but it's argument in essay form. Here is a visual argument, an argument that Star Wars is because of, and these other things are because of Star Wars. And it is this quintessential Hollywood film. The fact that this video by Colgren exists is in and of itself an argument for this course existing. The pervasive importance of Star Wars to our culture. If you're going to teach film, why aren't you teaching Star Wars, right? This is something that's preaching to the choir with you folks, and as much as we tend to take these things seriously, I really like how Star Wars doesn't always take itself seriously. We're constantly reminded by people it's just a movie, and on the one hand, I'm like, you're wrong. You're wrong. These aren't just movies, but on the other hand, that doesn't mean we can't take them too seriously. You know, we can have enjoyment. And so like Vader cuts in as this longest vision of Vader as the parody with Spaceballs, which parody is a huge part of Star Wars. It's to the point that there are parody videos made every single year, and Lucas awards one parody as the best thing. Lucas voices himself on Robot Chicken. So Robot Chicken is making fun of Lucas, and Lucas is there doing his own voice. So he is doing this like good-natured receiving of the I don't know, jokes, the ridicule, but it's always good natured, you know. If you try and corrupt the thing, Lucasfilm has a huge problem, but if you try and enjoy the thing, then you're good to go. Right on. And I think Colgren really shows us how we can take it seriously and not take it too seriously. The justification for the existence of Colgren's work here is the potency and importance of Star Wars, and also he shows just how standard it is. And so when we were talking about the monomyth, remember, it's that outer shell, that outer image that is very much detailing the bones that makes it what it is. And so this is something I definitely wanted you all to go after, and I wanted you to see the ability to make argument otherwise. And I think that'll really help when you get into the contribute to the culture project assignments. All right. but also if you're just looking to examine Star Wars as Hollywood film, as film in general. This is a great, overwhelming, but crash course in Star Wars as film. So that's there for you, gang. Let me know what you liked from that or from the Deutscher in the prompt for this week's stuff. But yeah, gang, I don't want you overwhelmed this week because this is the week where I drop everything in your lap. So we'll call the video right here. Enjoy it, watch it both ways, and let me know what you think. I'll catch you all later.